And
Mm.
I think that unifies us, though, because I
Absolutely.
remember growing up and thinking, my parents, they just, they must have it all together because they never, talk about any of their faults.
Yes.
And of course, then as a teenager, you realize they have a lot of faults, as most teenagers do. But
Yes.
I think I kind of nipped it in the bud by exposing my faults when my kids were younger. Do you want to talk a little bit about just transparency and
Hmm.
the
That's
importance of
good.
that in unity?
So if you want your child to really hear you, um, they have to trust you,
Oh,
and
yes.
they have to respect you.
Hmm.
And a part of the respect, we mix it up. We think that, when we were brought up, it was respect was do as I say, and not as I do, or don't talk back.
Right.
But, really respect is about honoring them, recognizing that you honor them,
Mm.
and that you're honest about your own stuff. So, one of the things we used to do was we would sit around, maybe on a Sunday after church, and we would actually tell the truth about our stuff.
Hmm.
We wouldn't get too deep, but
Right.
we wanted the kids to know, because sometimes they're looking at one child and saying, they're so bad, they're always lying, and they put
You can always
one.
see the speck in somebody else's eye instead of the log in yours, right?
Exactly. And somehow what they did was worse than what they did. And, so one day we kind of sat everybody around. We said, now look, everybody in this room knows what each other's faults are,
Right.
including mommy and daddy. So we're not going to play games like we don't have faults. But for some reason, God has called us to be the parents, even with our faults, to help
Yeah.
raise you up. But we're not going to walk around and pretend like we don't have them. So, Ricky, what's your fault? He said, he lied. He had struggled with lying. And Lauren, what's your fault? She was very proud. And Danielle, what's your fault? She was my Eeyore. The sky is falling. We're gonna all die.
Yes.
About everything.
Right. There's no joy there.
No. Oh, and so they came around to dad, and he shared his fault, and I was a very angry mom as a young mom, and they knew that. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
like I spent a lot of time apologizing. But when I was able to say, and no longer say, I wouldn't have shouted at you if you had just,
Right.
but was able to say, I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was wrong. Um, you belong to God, and I need to do better at the way that I treat you. And I'm not even going to say sorry until I'm prepared to not do this again.
Mm.
Because if I keep saying it over and over, it will soon have no meaning.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and the same happens with our kids and their relationships with each other too, doesn't it?
Exactly. And so you just have to keep working with them, reminding we're all in the same boat, but we
Mhm.
have a loving God. Just as we need forgiveness from him, then we have to be willing to give it. So I
Yeah.
think the unity comes from taking the word out of that Bible, and allowing it to come to life in how
Mm.
we interact with each other.
Yeah, yeah.